Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my brow routine video. I was requested to show you guys how I pretty much groom my brows and fill them in, I guess. Yeah, I have recently kind of developed new techniques on how I've been grooming my brows, and I think I've fully kind of groomed them to their pristineness. I don't like to pluck them on like a regular basis, but I guess maybe like once a year I will do like a full like replucking just to clean it all up. But my brows don't grow in that quickly. I am trying to grow in my brows more full, but I'm trying to grow them, you know, within the lines. So I'm not trying to like grow them bushy. I'm just trying to grow them thicker where I want them. So I'm trying not to pluck them too often because I find that sometimes I'll overpluck, and that's not good. Do not overpluck. It's not going to help you at all, because you never know. Once you pluck that hair, it may never grow back. So I definitely have stopped like seriously plucking my brows a lot. I'd rather them be sort of like sparsely grown in, like down here, than to have them all overplucked. I'd rather have like bushy eyebrows than no eyebrows. So that's kind of my view on plucking eyebrows, but I will show you my techniques on how I kind of make them the shape that I want them, and then how I fill them in, like what I use to fill them in. So it's really simple, honestly. I don't do anything crazy, but you want to see it, so here it is. The first thing you're going to need right off the bat is some type of tool to brush your brows, to make sure that they're all, you know, where they should be. So you can use either a spoolie for that, or you can use one of these like eyelash combs. I don't really know. I think that's an eyelash comb and an eyebrow brush. I'm not really sure. I don't like these things, but for grooming they're nice. But to brush them out when I'm filling them in, I use a spoolie. Here's a tip for you. If you've got a brush like this and a brush like this, and you want to combine them, just soak the end of the brush in hot water until the glue melts, and then just pull it off, and then, you know, trim down this brush and then just glue this part on the end, and you've got a double-ended brush. I definitely like this a lot better than, like, say I was using this and this, and you're holding, you know, your brow product. You've got to fill them in, and then you're holding this, and you've got to like switch out the brushes, and then like brush it out, and then like switch out the brushes again. Like, it's just really difficult. It's a lot easier when you've got it on the same brush, because you can just fill them in, brush it out, fill them in, brush them out. Like, super easy. Then you're obviously going to need tweezers of some type to pluck your eyebrows. These are just Revlon ones. I recommend the pointed kind. If you get the kind that have the flat bottoms, those I think are more for splinters. They do not work for eyebrows. I've tried them. They do not work. These ones are the best. And these are just hand-me-downs. These are so old. I got these from my stepmom, I think, so just don't waste a lot of money on tweezers. You're not going to need them that often unless you've got like super crazy brows. And you're going to need powder of some type, or you can use one of these like brow pencil things. For the most part, I like to use just a powder. It looks a lot more natural on me, and it's a lot easier for me to work with. So a couple of powders just that I use for my brow color is like this one from e.l.f. These were just like little single eyeshadows, and I just depotted them. They're from one of those huge kits. I just depotted them and put them in an old e.l.f. case, so they're, you know, accessible for traveling and stuff. And I just use this brown sort of grayish shade, and that works perfectly for my brows. Another good color that I use on like days when I'm like, if I have an event or something, or if I want like darker brows, I'll use Dark Horse from the Naked palette. That's also a really great color for my brow color. So to groom my brows, first I brush my brows up, and then I'll take some sort of pencil or brush, or usually I'll just use the brush, and wherever your brows are like a straight line, just kind of push up on them. Make it so you can see a couple hairs, and then just pull up, and whatever hairs are kind of like stray, pluck them. Just get rid of them. Same thing on the front part. If you want like a straight line, just pluck whatever is showing, and it will get rid of all of those hairs, and it will really make a clean line. Same thing for the top. Just brush your brows down, place the thing on top, the brush on top, and then just pluck away all those little hairs that are standing out. Trust me, it makes a huge difference. It makes your brows look so much more defined, and it makes them almost look darker because it doesn't kind of feather out. It goes from skin to brows as opposed to like skin to like sparse brows to full-on brow. It just makes them look thicker because there's more of a contrast between where your brow starts and where it ends. So that has made a huge difference, I think, in my brows. They look so much more just put together now that I kind of trimmed the top and the bottom. So I definitely recommend doing that to your brows if you want a more defined look. And then other than that, just pluck away everything. I just pluck all these. I've got tons of blonde hairs, and it makes such a big difference. Like, you don't see them, and it doesn't really make a difference when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, but when you go to put eyeshadow on, like, having those little hairs there is so annoying. So I just say just pluck them. You don't have to pluck them all at once. You can do it over the course of like a week. Just every day, just pluck a few more. And since they're blonde, sometimes you can't see them, so if you kind of put your hand over your eye, you can see them darker because the light isn't shining on them. So if you're like doing your brows, I do them in front of like a window, somewhere where I can see every single hair. Then I'll just put my hand over my eyebrow like that, and it'll create a shadow so I can see all the other little darker hairs. So yeah, that's all I really do for plucking my eyebrows. It's nothing really intense or anything like that. It's just normal plucking of the brows. Lately I've been liking doing more of a flatter brow because I have kind of a naturally high arch, as you can probably see. And normally, like, I would brush my brows up and then kind of smooth them down on the edges. But recently I've just been brushing them completely to the side, like just completely sideways and like just flat. I've been just brushing them flat. This one I kind of have to brush up a little bit just because it's naturally, the hairs naturally kind of go downward. So I kind of have to brush this one up. But this one I just brush flat sideways. For the most part I do that to both sides, but this one sometimes I have to kind of brush some of the hairs up. I don't know, it's just difficult. To fill in my brows, it's pretty simple. I like to have the bottom of my eyebrow very rounded, and then the top I like to have a point at the top. So I like to be pointed on top but rounded on the bottom. That's just how I fill them in. Yeah, I like mine to be sort of as far out as I can get them. I want the arch to be as far back on my face as I can get it, and then I just brush them down. The closest point in the middle I want to be on the bottom, so I want them to kind of go up at an angle and then out, so like that. Does that make sense? Your brows really make a huge difference on your face. The closer you put them together this way, your eyes will look, you know, closer together. The farther apart you do them, your eyes will look farther apart. The farther out you make your brows, the thinner your face will look, and if you make them shorter, they will make your face look wider. So since I kind of have a chubby face, I like to have mine longer to kind of thin out my face a little bit. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for requesting this video. It was kind of a random video for me to do because I have a love-hate relationship with my brows, mostly this one. This one always wants to be a little booger. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys if you're maybe just starting to groom your eyebrows or you kind of want to do a different look. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.